It started like whispers in the dark, but now the streets are buzzing with a story so twisted it could only come straight out of a reality TV scandal. Imagine this: the Frost family, already infamous for their never-ending drama, now dragged into a chilling police investigation that has fans gasping and shaking their heads in disbelief. The headlines scream betrayal, blood, and a shocking family secret because, according to the latest reports, police have uncovered evidence that Kirk Frost's own daughter may have orchestrated a setup that ended with her boyfriend's death. Yes, you heard that right. Not just a lover's quarrel. Not just another messy breakup. We're talking about a cold, calculated trap that left one young man gone forever, and a family's reputation hanging by a thread. Fans who thought they'd seen it all from the Frosts are now reeling. How could this happen? How deep do the lies go? And why would Kirk's daughter, raised in the shadow of hip-hop royalty and reality TV fame, risk it all in such a dark and dangerous way? Police insiders say they've pieced together a puzzle of text messages, late-night phone calls, and secret meetings that paint a chilling picture. But the biggest shocker of all, the Frost family knew more than they let on. Behind the glamorous Instagram posts and smiling public appearances, emotions ran high and suspicions festered, leaving the entire family divided, pointing fingers, and scrambling for answers. Tonight, we dive into the investigation that has everyone talking, breaking down how love turned into betrayal, how whispers became evidence, and how a family name, once synonymous with hustle and survival, is now tied to allegations of murder and deceit. Buckle up, because this story is not just drama, it's devastation. And it will have you questioning every single move the Frost family has made in the past year. The whispers of betrayal didn't come out of nowhere. They had been lingering in the Frost household long before the police investigation made its way into headlines. What looked like a glamorous life of fame, reality TV appearances, and flashy Instagram posts was already cracking behind the scenes. Kirk Frost, the patriarch whose name has been synonymous with hustle, controversy, and survival, suddenly found his household in the middle of a crime story that fans could hardly believe. It began with subtle questions. Why did his daughter seem so distant, so caught up in her own world, making secretive moves that nobody quite understood? She wasn't the kind of person to open up easily, and those closest to her described her as sharp, ambitious, and maybe just a little too aware of the power of her last name. But when news broke that her boyfriend had been found dead under mysterious circumstances, every hidden truth started bubbling to the surface like poison waiting to spill. The streets talked fast. Fans on social media started piecing together the timeline, as if they were detectives themselves. One person tweeted, "The Frost family always in drama, but this. I can't believe Kirk's daughter might be involved in some setup mess." Another wrote, "This whole situation screams betrayal. Ain't no way she didn't know what was going down." And yet, while rumors flared online, the real drama was playing out quietly between family members who couldn't escape the cloud of suspicion. Police reports began circling, hinting that text messages showed she had lured her boyfriend into a dangerous meeting, one that he would never walk away from. The idea that someone so young, so tied to a famous family, could be linked to something so sinister left the public stunned. Inside the Frost home, emotions ran high. Kirk was furious, not just at the allegations, but at the way his family's name was being dragged through the mud once again. "You think I worked this hard, built all this, for you to throw it away like this?" he reportedly shouted during a heated confrontation, his voice breaking under the pressure. His daughter, defensive and angry, snapped back, "You don't know everything, Dad. You don't know what I was dealing with." That moment wasn't just about a crime, it was about years of bottled-up resentment, about a daughter who felt overshadowed by a father's empire, and a family constantly caught up in scandal. But what pushed her to that breaking point? Police investigations suggested it wasn't a sudden act but something premeditated, planned with cold precision. Evidence of late-night messages revealed coded words, vague hints of trouble, and secret meetups that nobody in the family knew about. Investigators believed she orchestrated a scenario where her boyfriend would be vulnerable, surrounded, and ultimately betrayed. The why, however, remained the biggest question. Was it jealousy, revenge, money, or something deeper, something tied to the Frost legacy that fans couldn't yet understand? Rashida, Kirk's long-suffering wife, was caught in the middle of the storm. Fans remember her strength, her ability to weather Kirk's infidelity, and the endless scandals that followed, but this was different. "This isn't just cheating or lies," Rashida reportedly confided to a close friend. "This is life and death. And if our daughter's really involved, I don't know how we're supposed to come back from this." The weight of her words hit hard. Because for the first time, Rashida wasn't just standing by her husband against outsiders. She was torn between her maternal instinct to protect her child and the horrifying possibility that her child had crossed an unforgivable line. The boyfriend's family didn't stay silent either. Heartbroken and enraged, they pointed fingers directly at the Frost household, accusing them of using fame and money to shield the truth. At vigils and gatherings, his mother's words echoed with pain. He trusted her. He loved her. And look, where it got him. Fans watching from the sidelines couldn't look away, divided between sympathy for the grieving family and disbelief that Kirk's daughter could be capable of such a betrayal. Meanwhile, the Frost brand, the image of success they had worked so hard to cultivate, was shattering under the weight of suspicion. Business deals were suddenly in jeopardy, public appearances cancelled, and whispers turned into bold headlines plastered across blogs and tabloids. "Frost family tied to murder plot," screamed one article, while another questioned, did reality TV fame push them over the edge? The family was left scrambling for damage control, but no matter how much Kirk and Rashida tried to silence the noise, the evidence mounting from the police investigation kept dragging them back into the fire. Behind closed doors, arguments spiraled into full-blown shouting matches. Kirk, pacing the room, reportedly yelled, "Do you understand what this means for us? For everything I've built?" His daughter, cornered and emotional, fought back with tears in her eyes. "You think this is about you? You think everything's about your name, your money, your reputation?" I was drowning, and nobody in this family even noticed. That clash revealed something deeper. A daughter feeling ignored, suffocated by the weight of her father's fame, desperate for control in a world where she felt powerless. But the way she allegedly chose to reclaim that power sent shockwaves no one could contain. Fans online debated fiercely, some defending her, saying she was being scapegoated because of her last name, while others insisted the evidence was too damning to ignore. "She's a Frost. That's why people don't want to believe it," one viral comment read. Another fan countered, "If it was anyone else, y'all would have already cancelled them. Don't let the fame blind you to the facts." The divide only grew, creating a frenzy where everyone felt like they had the right to judge, to speculate, to add fuel to an already uncontrollable fire. As the police dug deeper, whispers of hidden motives surfaced. Money troubles, jealousy over friendships, even talk of betrayal within the boyfriend's own circle. All of it pointed to a tangled web of lies and manipulation. What seemed like a tragic accident began to look more and more like a calculated setup, and with each leak from the investigation, the Frost daughter's name was dragged further into the spotlight. For Kirk, a man who had spent years juggling scandals, this was the one nightmare he couldn't spin away from. His face, usually so confident in the spotlight, now carried the heavy burden of a father who might have to face the unthinkable, his daughter standing trial for orchestrating a murder. And yet, despite the growing evidence, she never fully admitted guilt. Her words remained defiant, haunting in their ambiguity. "You don't know what he did to me. You don't know why I had to do what I did." That chilling statement left fans speechless, wondering what kind of pain, betrayal, or secret could justify something so irreversible. And it was that very mystery that kept the public hooked, waiting to see what new twist the police investigation would unravel next, and whether the Frost family could survive another storm or whether this one would finally break them for good. The police investigation was only beginning to scratch the surface, but the deeper they dug, the darker the story became. Detectives pieced together a timeline that read like the script of a tragic movie. Except this wasn't fiction, it was playing out in real life, with the Frost family unwillingly cast in leading roles. They discovered that the boyfriend had been lured out late at night with promises of reconciliation after a heated argument, a supposed chance to talk things through. What he didn't know was that text messages from Kirk's daughter painted a different picture entirely, one where she carefully set the stage for his downfall. Fans were horrified as reports emerged that she texted him sweetly, asking him to meet her alone, while at the same time messaging another number that investigators linked to the men who would later be involved in the ambush. Social media exploded when those details leaked. One blog posted screenshots of alleged messages with the caption, "This looks like a trap. How could she?" Fans flooded the comments with reactions like, "I can't believe she really did him like that," and "This Frost drama is worse than anything we ever saw on Love and Hip Hop." For years, viewers had watched Kirk and Rashida navigate their messy marriage. But this new storyline was far beyond reality TV. It was a crime saga unfolding before the public's eyes. Inside the Frost household, chaos reigned. Kirk's voice could be heard echoing through the walls as he demanded answers. You played him. You played him like that. Do you even understand what you've done? His daughter, her face streaked with tears, slammed her fists against the table. He wasn't who you thought he was. He betrayed me first. You don't know what he was capable of. Rashida, torn apart, tried to calm the storm, but her words fell on deaf ears. This isn't about right or wrong anymore, she whispered, her voice trembling. This is about survival. They're coming for us, and if you don't tell the truth, this family will never recover. What made the story even more complicated were whispers from the boyfriend's circle of friends. Some claimed he had been unfaithful, others insisted he was wrapped up in dangerous business dealings, and a few even suggested he had crossed paths with people far more dangerous than the Frosts. But the central question still loomed. Did Kirk's daughter act out of fear, or was this an act of calculated betrayal? Police hinted that evidence suggested she wasn't alone, that maybe she had been manipulated, coerced, or even pressured by someone else in her orbit. The possibility of a hidden mastermind added another twist to the already tangled web. Fans online clung to every development. One popular forum thread read, "What if she didn't do it alone? What if this was bigger than her?" Another commenter shot back, "Stop making excuses. She set him up." Period. The arguments grew so heated that hashtags like #FrostFamilySecrets and #JusticeForHim trended nationwide. Every new leak from the investigation became a viral moment, turning the tragedy into a spectacle that fans couldn't look away from. As detectives closed in, Kirk faced the harsh reality that his name, once tied to music and reality TV success, was now permanently linked to scandal and tragedy. His business partners began pulling back, hesitant to associate with a man whose family was under investigation for murder. The Frost empire was crumbling in real time. Rashida, who had always been the face of resilience, was reportedly breaking down in private. "I don't know if I can keep holding this family together," she confided tearfully to a close friend. "Every time I think we've survived the worst, something else comes and tears us apart." The boyfriend's mother, still grieving her son's loss, made a public plea outside the courthouse that struck the nation's heart. "He was my baby. He didn't deserve this. All he wanted was love, and instead, he was betrayed. I don't care who they are, how much money they have, or how famous they think they are, justice will be served." Her words went viral, amplified by fans who demanded accountability. No matter the Frost family's fame or fortune, yet, in the middle of all the outrage, a shocking twist emerged. Reports surfaced that the boyfriend had confided in someone shortly before his death, telling them he feared he was being set up, not just by his girlfriend, but by people he thought were his friends. This revelation complicated the narrative. Was she the mastermind, or was she just one pawn in a bigger, more sinister game? Kirk's daughter insisted, "You think I wanted this? You think I wanted him gone? No, I was protecting myself. He was dangerous?" Her words stirred speculation that maybe, just maybe, there was another side to the story. But police weren't buying excuses. Evidence still pointed back to her role in orchestrating the meeting, the messages, and the betrayal. The Frost family was now split down the middle. Kirk, devastated and furious, leaned toward believing the worst, while Rashida, though torn, begged him not to abandon their daughter in her darkest hour. "She's still our child," Rashida pleaded. "If we don't stand by her now, we'll lose her forever." But Kirk's response was cold, his face hardened with anger. "We might have already lost her." The story only grew more sensational as the press uncovered more layers. Allegations of money exchanges, jealousy over another girl, and even talk of threats that had been made in the weeks leading up to the murder painted a picture of toxic love gone horribly wrong. Fans described it as the darkest Frost scandal yet, and for once, even the most loyal supporters struggled to defend the family. As one fan bluntly wrote, "This isn't reality TV anymore. This is real life, and somebody lost their life." With tensions high, the Frosts braced themselves for what would come next. As the investigation moved toward charges that could shatter their world completely, and just when everyone thought the story couldn't get any messier, a shocking piece of evidence leaked that changed everything again, dragging the Frost name even deeper into the abyss. The leaked evidence turned the case from shocking to explosive. According to reports, investigators had uncovered a chilling audio recording, one that allegedly captured Kirk's daughter during a heated phone call just hours before her boyfriend's death. the recording wasn't clear enough to be used as the sole piece of evidence, but what was audible sent chills through fans' spines. In the clip, she could be heard saying words like, "He won't see it coming," and "I'm done playing games with him." Whether those words were about a breakup or something darker, the timing was damning. The police treated it as yet another brick in the wall against her. The audio quickly leaked online, making its way onto gossip blogs, YouTube breakdown channels, and Twitter threads. Fans reacted instantly, torn between shock and disbelief. One viral comment read, "If that's really her voice, then it's over for her." Another argued, "People say things in anger. That don't mean she wanted him dead." The debate grew louder as influencers and even fellow reality TV stars weighed in, many of them stunned that the Frost family, already infamous for cheating scandals and public fights, was now linked to something far more sinister. Inside the Frost home, the recording hit like a grenade. Kirk, pacing the living room, slammed his phone down and shouted, "What else are they gonna find? Huh? How much more is out there that I don't know about?" His daughter, her voice breaking, tried to explain. "It wasn't like that. I was angry. I didn't mean it that way." But her words rang hollow, not only to her father but to a family that was crumbling under the weight of its own secrets. Rashida, her hands trembling as she clutched a glass of water, whispered, "Do you hear yourself? Do you realize how this sounds to everyone else?" The family's arguments spilled beyond their home. Friends and associates who had once been loyal began to distance themselves. Club owners canceled appearances, partnerships dissolved quietly, and the Frost brand became toxic overnight. Fans, who had supported Rashida's boutiques and music ventures, posted angry reviews, saying they couldn't support a family linked to such a tragedy. The fallout was swift, brutal, and public, but just as the police thought they had the story locked down, another twist unraveled. A mysterious witness came forward, someone close to the boyfriend, claiming he had enemies far outside the Frost circle. This witness suggested that while Kirk's daughter may have lured him to the meeting spot, she might not have known exactly what would happen next. In other words, she might have been manipulated too. The revelation didn't absolve her, but it complicated the narrative, sending fans and investigators into another frenzy. Was she the mastermind, or just a pawn? The boyfriend's family wasn't having it. His mother, once again speaking through tears, told reporters, "I don't care what excuses they come up with. She brought him there. She knew something was gonna happen. That's enough for me." Her pain became a rallying cry online, with hashtags like #JusticeForHim resurfacing, and fans demanding that Kirk's daughter face the full consequences, as public opinion raged. Rashida tried desperately to keep the family from collapsing completely. In private conversations, she begged Kirk not to disown their daughter, not to let the public's judgment destroy what little family they had left. "She's still ours," Rashida said quietly one evening, tears running down her face. "If she goes down, we all go down with her." But Kirk, weary and bitter, responded, "Maybe that's what it takes. Maybe this is the price for all the lies we've been living with." The more details emerged, the more the Frost family fractured. Extended relatives started speaking to the press anonymously, some blaming Kirk's strict household, others pointing fingers at the toxic spotlight of fame. One cousin even claimed she grew up watching her daddy betray, lie, and cover things up. Don't be surprised she learned to play the same game, only this time the stakes were higher. That accusation cut deep, because it painted the scandal, not as an isolated act, but as the inevitable result of years of dysfunction. Meanwhile, fans on social media began theorizing wildly. Some believed Kirk's daughter had been protecting herself from abuse, others thought it was jealousy, while a few went so far as to suggest that Kirk himself might have known more than he let on. Theories turned into full-blown conspiracies, feeding a media cycle that couldn't get enough of the Frost drama. Every new rumor sparked another wave of headlines. Secret recordings implicate Frost's daughter. Did Kirk know? And Rashida breaks down behind closed doors. The pressure finally pushed Kirk's daughter to speak publicly. In a tearful video posted to social media, she declared, "I didn't kill him. I didn't want him gone. I made mistakes, yes, but I never wanted this to happen." Her words, raw and emotional, drew millions of views within hours. Fans dissected every tear, every pause, every shaky sentence, debating whether it was genuine grief or calculated damage control. Some supported her, saying, "She's young, she's hurting, she's not a killer." Others were harsher, tweeting, "Crocodile tears. She's just scared of the truth coming out." But the most shocking twist of all came not from her, but from the investigation itself. Detectives revealed that the phone used to coordinate parts of the setup didn't belong solely to her. It was a shared device, one others in her circle also had access to. Suddenly, the once clear narrative blurred again. If others had access, then who else was involved? Who pulled the strings? Was she the villain? Or had someone far more calculating manipulated her into becoming the face of a crime she never fully controlled? By this point, the Frost family wasn't just under investigation, they were living in a nightmare that blurred love, betrayal, and survival. And just when it seemed the chaos had reached its peak, another shocking confession emerged, one that would throw the entire case into even deeper turmoil. The shocking confession came from someone nobody expected, one of the boyfriend's closest friends. According to investigators, he admitted that he'd known about the setup in advance but swore that Kirk's daughter wasn't supposed to be the one taking the fall. He claimed there was an entire plan in motion, orchestrated by people far outside the Frost family, and that she had been pressured into playing her part. The revelation hit like a bombshell, flipping the story upside down. Suddenly, fans began asking, was she the cold-hearted mastermind everyone painted her to be? Or was she just a pawn in a dangerous game she couldn't escape? News outlets jumped on the confession instantly, with headlines screaming, "Confession, rocks, Frost investigation, and new suspects enter the frame." The Frost family's silence only made things worse. Every time Rashida tried to put out a statement, fans accused her of protecting her daughter instead of demanding the truth. Kirk, meanwhile, withdrew from the public eye, showing up only briefly in public, his face etched with the stress of a man watching his empire crumble in slow motion. Paparazzi photos of him, head down and avoiding cameras, went viral with captions like the weight of a father's shame. Inside the Frost home, the atmosphere was unbearable. Arguments turned into screaming matches. Rashida begged her husband to believe their daughter. "She's not evil, Kirk," Rashida cried late one night, her voice shaking. "She made mistakes, yes, but she didn't pull the trigger. She didn't plan it the way they're saying." Kirk, his jaw clenched, refused to soften. "She led him there, Rashida. Without her, none of this happens. You can't just ignore that." Their daughter, listening from the hallway, broke down into sobs, her cries echoing through the house, like a haunting reminder of the family's collapse. Meanwhile, the boyfriend's family rejected the idea of shared blame. His mother appeared on a daytime talk show, clutching a framed photo of her son. "I don't care what stories they tell. I don't care who else they try to blame. She was the last person he trusted. She called him there. She set him up. My son is gone, and no twist in the story will change that." Her raw grief resonated with millions, fueling public anger that only grew more intense. As the case escalated, shocking details from the police report leaked online. It turned out the ambush wasn't random, it was tied to money, jealousy, and loyalty gone wrong. Detectives believed the boyfriend had been involved in dealings that put him at odds with dangerous people, and Kirk's daughter got caught in the middle. The friend who confessed hinted that she'd been threatened, manipulated into playing along, but the evidence against her still looked damning. Fans were torn. Was she guilty by choice, or guilty by circumstance? Social media became a battleground. One trending post read, "She's guilty no matter how you slice it. She texted him, she brought him there. That's on her." Another countered, "Stop ignoring the pressure she was under. She's a young woman, and those men used her to do their dirty work." The debate grew so intense that celebrities began chiming in, some defending her as a victim of toxic circumstances, others condemning her as an example of what happens when fame shields people from accountability. But the Frost family's unity finally broke when Kirk confronted his daughter in front of relatives. His voice cracked with a mix of fury and heartbreak. "You dragged this family's name through hell. Do you realize what you've done to us, to me, to your mother?" His daughter, trembling and pale, finally snapped, "It was never about you, Dad. You've been too busy protecting your image to even notice me. He lied to me. He used me, and I was scared. But no one in this family ever asked me how I felt. You all just assume I'm like you." Her words landed like knives, exposing years of buried resentment. Relatives gasped, some siding with her, others shaking their heads in disbelief. Rashida tried to intervene, clutching her daughter's shoulders as tears streamed down both of their faces. "We can't fix this by tearing each other apart," Rashida sobbed. "We're already on the edge. If we don't stand together, the world will eat us alive." But it was too late. The cracks were too deep, and the pain too raw as the investigation moved toward trial. The Frost name became synonymous not with music, reality TV, or resilience but with betrayal, murder, and tragedy. Every step the family took was followed by flashing cameras, every rumor amplified into headlines. And yet, beneath the noise, a chilling question remained unanswered. Was Kirk's daughter the villain in this story or just another victim trapped in a cycle of lies, fame, and danger she never chose? But just as the public thought the case was ready for trial, investigators dropped yet another bombshell, an unexpected twist that would throw the Frosts into even deeper turmoil, shaking every assumption fans thought they knew about the night the boyfriend lost his life. The Frost family's darkest chapter has left fans divided, shocked, and desperate for answers. What began as whispers of betrayal has now spiraled into a full-blown saga of crime, heartbreak, and scandal that no one saw coming. Police reports, leaked messages, shocking confessions. Each twist has only deepened the mystery of whether Kirk Frost's daughter masterminded a cold and calculated setup, or whether she was manipulated into playing a role in something far bigger and darker than herself. Through it all, the family has been ripped apart, Kirk furious and broken, Rashida torn between protecting her daughter and preserving the family's name, and fans worldwide left speechless at the unraveling of a household once held together by reality TV resilience. But the questions remain: was she truly the architect of betrayal, or a pawn trapped in a dangerous game? Did love turn her into a villain, or was she only trying to survive in a world that had already betrayed her first? The boyfriend's grieving, family demands justice, the streets are buzzing with theories, and the investigation continues to peel back layer after layer of secrets the Frosts would rather keep buried. And if the shocking leaks so far are any indication, the truth might be even messier than anyone could imagine. One thing is certain: this isn't the kind of drama that ends neatly. This is tragedy, betrayal, and scandal colliding in ways that will haunt the Frost name forever. And the question on everyone's mind: what will the final verdict be when the truth comes out? Now, we want to hear from you. Do you believe Kirk's daughter is guilty of orchestrating the setup? Or was she caught in something she couldn't control? Was this pure betrayal or survival gone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is far from over. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping updates, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a single twist in this unbelievable saga. Trust me, the next chapter in the Frost family scandal will have everyone talking and you won't want to miss it.